What is up, everybody? Welcome to Dunkman 42's DFS, blue collar DFS. Intro, week 9. It's simple as that. That's all we got. It's week 9. Let's fucking go get it. Our over-unders this week, we got the Bucs Seahawks at 53 with the Seahawks at -5.5. We have the Lions and Raiders at 50.5 with the Raiders -2. And we also have the Chargers-Packers at 47.5 with the Packers at -3.5. There's not a lot of over-unders on the slate. There's not a lot of awesome stuff, really, for you guys this week. I mean, it's kind of a get to it, get after it kind of slate. We'll start at quarterback position. Russell Wilson at 7,100. He's right there at the top. He's going to be a great play, like always. I say it every week. His legs get you that high floor that you want. It's a little pricey. I'm not going to be able to get to him, to be honest with you, because there's some other stuff I'm going to try to do. I'll get to that in a little bit. Right behind him, you have Stafford at 6,800. It's another one that's going to be a good play. He's in that second highest over-under against the Raiders. There should be some points put up in that game. At 6,800, I'm not going to be able to get to that either. But I'm just letting you know, a valuable play. Then you have kind of the cheaper options that you could go with. Derek Carr. He's going to be low owned, I think, with the Raiders at -2 at home against the Lions and at 50.5, like I just said with Stafford. Derek Carr could be a cheap option if you needed to get some other things in. But the play I'm going to go with, I'm going with Phillip Rivers. They're at 5,100. The Chargers and Packers got that 47.5 over-under. The Packers are -3.5. I feel like Phillip Rivers is going to throw quite a bit. And at 5,100, he's letting me get other places that I want to get filled. And I won't lose too much value by playing him at the 5,100. That's who I got in on my stuff. So Phillip Rivers is my guy this week. Going to the running back position. You have two guys at the top. You have McCaffrey at 10,000. And you have Cook at 9,500. Both of them are in my lineups. I'm going to make sure I can get them both in. I'm going to save a little bit at receiver. I'm going to get to that also. And with Phillip Rivers at 5,100, that's going to help quite a bit too. So McCaffrey and Cook right there at the top. McCaffrey's 10,000, Cook's 9,500. In these 50-50s in these tournaments, you're going to want them both. Because other than that, that's your top-notch running backs, and that's the best, highest floors you're going to get. And for me, both of them are in my lineups. If you go right below them, though, I'll give you some other options. Le'Veon Bell at 7,700. He's going against the Dolphins. He could blow up to. But like I said, I gave you the two I'm playing. But Bell at 7,700 against Miami. If you want to go a little cheaper, you have Phillip Lindsay at 5,300. I like that play also there for Denver. And Melvin Gordon at 5,000. That's right. Who would have thought that Melvin Gordon would be 5,000 on DraftKings? I actually have him as my flex right now in my lineups. That is until this. Melvin Gordon, like I said, is my flex at 5,000. But with Jalen Samuels, the running back for the Steelers, he's $4,000. If Connor is out, he's plugging in. And with him being at $4,000 and Connor being out, if you're plugging him in, that's my broke ass of the week. Jalen Samuels there for the Steelers going against the Colts. He's going to get a super heavy workload if Connor's out. So like I said, I like Melvin Gordon at the flex at 5,000 so you can play the top two running backs. But if Connor is out, plug Samuels in there, get that extra 1,000 between the two, and maybe pump up a tight end or pump up another receiver. But it's up to you. That's what I'm doing. And we're going to go ahead and move on to wide receiver. That brings me to that. You got Galladay, Jones Jr., and Amendola. Galladay 77, Jones Jr. 6,000, Amendola at 4,700. All those options there with the Lions and that high over-under. You also have Godwin at 7,300 and Evans at 7,200. I want one of them in my lineups too. So, like I said, I'm going McCaffrey and Cook in every lineup, and one of them in that lineup also. Below that, you got Lockett at 7,500 and Metcalf at 5,700 there for the Seahawks receivers. Then below that, with the Chargers, you have Keenan Allen at 6,400 and Mike Williams at 4,600. So, if you look at these cheaper options, like you could go Mike Williams with Metcalf and like an Amendola, and then you load up that running back position, and at receiver, you're going to still get some looks, and you're still going to be, in decent shape at receiver is what I'm trying to do, save you money there. Last but not least, well, not last, I'll say I got somebody for last, but Valdez-Scantling at 5,600, Geronimo Allison at 4,200. There for the Packers. But Allen Lazard, he actually led them in snap count. He led all receivers in Green Bay in snap count last week. That over-under is up there. Allen Lazard is 3,900 on DraftKings. I mean, that's going to help you get those running backs. I had him in my lineup, Lazard is. And with them in that over-under, like I was saying earlier, that 47.5 is the third highest on the slate. Allen Lazard at 3,900, that saves you some money unless you get them running backs. So I like him a lot this week too. And I just added this one in. Pascal at 4,100. T.Y. Hilton has just been declared out. So with T.Y. Hilton out, Pascal at 4,100 is going to get an even more uptick in targets. I mean, he could easily catch you a touchdown there. I'm just saying. Moving on to tight end. At the top of the list, you got Kelsey at 6,900. No freaking way I'm going to get to him. If you do, that's great. He's the top tight end on the slate, but I'm not going to be able to get to him. On down, like cheaper options, back to the T.Y. Hilton being out. Eric Ebron at 3,600 is a great play. And even farther below that, the guy that I'm going with, like I said, to help get those running backs in, Cameron Brates. O.J. Howard is out. Brate's going to probably get an even bigger workload. They have him as questionable, but they said that he didn't miss too much practice on Friday. He was a full participant, so they're looking like he's going to play. And he's also going to get a heavy workload. And with that being the highest over-under on the slate at 53, and they're 5.5-point dogs, they're going to be throwing that rock around. I like Cameron Brate at 3,100. It's simple as that. That's who I like. And on defense, two people, and they're the same game. You have the Bills right there at the top at 3,800 going against the Redskins. And they're starting Haskins this week. That could get ugly. It could get ugly. And on the flip side of that, you have the Redskins. And I'm playing the Redskins defense. They're $1,800. I mean, they don't have to do much to get any sort of value. If you get 4 or 5 points out of them at $1,800, and by playing them, you were able to, like I said, get them running backs in. Maybe one of them top receivers with the running backs because you played an $1,800 defense that got you 5 points. In the tournaments and stuff that I'm talking about, like the 50-50s, the little 20-people tournaments, that's what you're trying to go after when you're a low-roll player. That's going to be okay. Like at 1,800, I have them in my lineup, the Redskins at 1,800. So I know I went quick this week. Trying to knock this thing out. Just remember to ring the bell on the YouTube channel. Listen for Highly Inappropriate every Sunday at 7 o'clock. It's a great podcast. You're going to love it. Go ahead and listen to us. Talk some shit to us. Whatever you want to do. It's all good. If you can't listen live at 7 o'clock on Sundays, you can subscribe, rate, review Highly Inappropriate Podcast on Apple Podcast. And for those that don't have an iPhone, get an iPhone. And if you don't want to get an iPhone, go ahead and subscribe on your Android at iHeartRadio. We're on there too. Looking forward to hearing from you guys. If you got any questions, you can shoot at me on Twitter at Dunkman42 on Twitter. Shoot me a message. Shoot me a question, whatever you want. I'll try to answer it. As a matter of fact, I'll answer anything that gets shot at me. I always do. And that's about it. So let's go ahead and go get that money this week, and let's get paid.